Hey guys, so in this video, we are going over 6 very bad money habits that are keeping people poor. This applies to people making minimum wage, but it also applies to people making millions of dollars a year. It also applies to anyone who wants to prioritize their financial situation. Millions or billions of people at the end of the month, they look at their bank accounts and they wonder where all their money has gone. Think about how much nicer it'd be for you to see a positive balance and be able to save or invest that money. So with that being said, let's get started. So the first one on the list is keeping too much stuff, and this is basically just anti-minimalism. Interestingly enough, people have begun downsizing their homes, with the average square footage declining each year since 2015. Now this is great and all, but people are actually slower to give up their stuff. Instead, they're moving all their stuff to a storage unit, and you guys, this costs a lot of money. It's a recurring monthly charge. And even if you don't have a storage unit, it's costing you in mental space. Keeping track of all the stuff deters you from channeling your energy towards actually just making more money. So I want you guys to consider what type of mindset you have when keeping the things that you rarely use. Most people are going to place a dollar amount on the item. So for example, let's say we have a bookshelf that we used to use, but now just doesn't really fit with our new space. A lot of people are going to want to keep that item because they assign a $100 value or worth to that bookshelf. And as a result, that type of mindset makes it really hard to throw things away. Because obviously you're not going to go out and throw a $100 bill away, right? And if you think that bookshelf is worth $100, then you're just not gonna do that. Instead, what I want you guys to try and do is attach a monthly price of keeping it. So for example, this bookshelf, let's say it costs $3 a month of storage, as well as $1 a month of mental capacity. That's $4 a month or $48 per year. If you think about it like that, it becomes a lot more obvious what you should do with the item. So if you have items like that in your life, consider donating them, consider selling them, especially if you don't think you're gonna use it again in the next couple of years. Just really don't think of it as having any value, and rather take on the perspective of how much it's costing you to keep that item. If you guys are donating it, make sure to get a tax deduction, as that could definitely decrease your taxable income. And really for all this stuff, just move on. It's really holding you down. Once you get rid of this habit, it's gonna be a lot easier to save money and not keep items that are just costing us way too much money to do so. Okay, second on my list is investing procrastination. The unfortunate truth is that too many people, they just wait too long until they start investing and letting their money work for them. If you look at the numbers, the difference in delaying your investing by one single year is going to have a massive impact on your overall portfolio. So if your goal is to build up wealth, if it's to build up a massive portfolio of stocks, then investing as early as you can is just super important. The main reason for this is it's due to compound interest. The more years you spend in the market invested in stocks, the more your money is going to grow, especially when you get to the exponential phase of investing. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't happen in the first 10 to 20 years. This happens between the years 20 and 40. That's where you really see the exponential growth that comes with long-term investing. And even for people with not too much money to invest, I say just get started, you guys. Get that snowball rolling. That way you have your account set up so when you have more money later on, it's just a lot easier to take that money and automatically invest it. When it comes to investing, you want to remove all the barriers to investing. Anyways, if you guys have not yet signed up for WeBull, make sure to do so right now and get your free 4 stocks. All you have to do is open up an account, deposit $100 or more, and those 4 free stocks will be automatically deposited into your account. I'll put a link to it in the description below. This really all just ties into financial education. People are scared to invest, and I get it. It is pretty scary. Not having money in the bank makes it feel like your money is not with you. It's out there doing something on its own, and that's definitely extremely uncomfortable for a lot of people. However, when you learn about how investing works and the whole history of investing, you'll see how much other people have made by investing their money and just not letting it sit in their savings account. And when you learn all this stuff, it makes you not scared of investing. Now, I do think most of you guys probably have started investing, so just really prioritize saving and investing that money. And if you haven't yet started investing, I really encourage you, start doing that today. Get those free stocks with WeBull, and you'll get an instant return on your investment. And I guarantee you, your future self is going to be so happy that you started today. Next up is focusing only on the present and not on the future, not having this whole savings mindset. I think too many people, they live in the moment and they don't think of things in terms of opportunity cost. So basically what that means is when you're spending money, you are foregoing investing that money right now. This can totally change your perspective on money. So for example, let's say you have a $25 meal. If you spend that money right now on that meal, it's basically gonna be worth $50 in 10 years if you had invested it. And that's a very conservative number. If you invest that money right, it's probably going to be worth a lot more than $50. The same thing applies to, let's say, a $10 shot of tequila at the bar. Is taking that shot of tequila right now worth having, let's say, $20 or $30 in 10 years? Because if not, then don't make that purchase. I encourage you guys to think of every single purchase in your life like this. And when you do that, it makes it a lot harder to purchase things that just aren't necessary. Now, of course, you do have to have some type of balance to this. If you only think about the future and don't treat yourself now, then that really is a terrible way to live. What you want to do is you want to spend money on the right things and save on the right things as well. We should always be looking out for the future, especially if you want to become wealthy. There are just way too many temptations in life that threaten to steal our money from us. So really, I encourage you guys to embrace the savings mindset. Think of things in terms of opportunity cost, and your savings will increase dramatically. The next bad money habit that I want you guys to consider is not spending enough money or time on your self-education. Now, I'm not just talking about college, because to be honest, that's probably not the best use of money for a lot of people that don't want to go into a traditional career. I'm talking more about spending money and, more importantly, your time on self-improvement every single day. Think of your brain as a tool that can make you money. People hire you for your brain. You're only going to make as much money as your tools allow you to. Really, it is impossible to make millions and millions of dollars and escape the rat race by just doing what everyone else is doing. And by that, I mean just not caring about financial literacy, not reading self-improvement books, and not getting out of your comfort zone. Believe it or not, 99% of people just don't do these things. I know you're one of the few that do, because you're actively searching for and watching this type of stuff on YouTube. And when you improve yourself, this means that you're improving the opportunities that you see around us. A lot of people view making money as extremely challenging, but one big reason for that is because there are so many opportunities to make money that we don't see unless we challenge our brains to see it. Self-improvement, reading all this stuff, it's like having a pair of glasses that allows you to see making money in a different way. And I guarantee you that if you focus on financial literacy, on self-improvement, this is going to lead to an immediate boost in your income. This literally happened to me, you guys. I'm not joking. The moment I started reading, the moment I started waking up early and doing all this stuff for myself, my income went up so much. The next bad money habit to break is spending money like you're rich. And this has a lot to do with convenience versus savings. Let me tell you guys a little story about my family. So my parents, they always had a good income. My dad was a software engineer and my mom was a statistician. We were fortunate enough to never really worry about money. But my parents, they just didn't spend money like they had a good amount of it. We rarely ate out, and if we did eat out, it'd be at some really cheap place, and they were frugal on pretty much everything. This was a really great lesson, because growing up rich but seeing my parents still be so careful with their money really taught me that we don't need to spend like we're rich, even if we do have the money. It's always helpful to adopt this mindset. Even if you're poor, even if you're rich, it really does not matter. We are faced with this option every single day: paying for convenience or saving money. For example, let's talk about coffee. This is where we have Starbucks versus making it at home. Starbucks can seem like it's a lot more convenient because you just go there, pay, and get your drink. Versus if you're making it at home, you actually have to go buy the coffee beans, buy a coffee maker, and then just do it yourself. Same thing with eating, right? You can easily go out and get takeout for each meal, or you can go grocery shopping and make meals in bulk to save money. So I always thought that these things were things that only rich people did, when in reality, a lot of broke people will keep eating out frequently. They'll spend on convenience when they can't actually afford it, and they'll make large purchases all the time. It's important to spend like you're poor until you make significant income. For now, focus on saving and not convenience until your time becomes super valuable. This is going to help you prevent living paycheck to paycheck and not being able to save enough money to invest it properly. Okay, next is just having too many impulsive purchases. These days, companies are so good at making people buy things with their emotions and on impulse. Especially with the rise of e-commerce, people can now buy anything with literally just one click of a mouse. It's crazy, but 40% of e-commerce purchases are impulsive. And when you look at statistics like that, it really makes you wonder, how many things have I bought that were impulsive? Now, to combat this, one really great way to do so is to implement the 5-day rule. What this is you're basically going to wait 5 days before you purchase anything. And what this does is it helps you get rid of that emotional spending. I guarantee you that 90% of the purchases that you make won't look that great in 5 days. This literally just happened to me, you guys. I was thinking about buying these nanoleaf light panels that looked super cool. They're like $150 to $200 for 9 little panels, and I just thought it would make a pretty cool addition to this office space. I was this close to buying it. 5 days later, I went back to my shopping cart and I was like, I don't think I actually need these. And it's because that whole initial appeal of something new just sort of faded with time. This is just a little trick that you guys can use to reduce your spending so that you can increase your savings. Anyways, I hope you guys found these tips useful. These are habits that everyone should try and overcome, especially if you want to prioritize your financial situation and just create more wealth. These are very common habits, so don't feel bad if you do them, but definitely consider what I'm saying and try and stop doing these things. There's a reason why most people just never break out of that lower to middle class lifestyle and get into that whole upper and ultra high net worth bracket. It's because stopping these habits is extremely hard and it's extremely uncomfortable. But with that being said, I encourage you guys to just take this information and try and take action if any of these things applies to you. It'll have a really big long-term effect on your net worth. And again, make sure to check out WeBull, get your 4 free stocks. I'll put a link to it below. And if you found the video helpful, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe to my channel to see more content just like this. I make a ton of videos about personal finance, investing, and entrepreneurship. Thank you so much for your time again, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.